Hey Homeworthy, welcome to our home. I'm Matt.
And I'm Rocky. Come on in.
Come on in.
To shop items inspired by this and other Homeworthy episodes, be sure to check out the product links below for amazing furniture, accessories, and more. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi guys, my name is Rocky Barnes. This is my husband.
Hi guys, I'm Matt Cooper.
I'm a model influencer.
I do photography and management, and this is our house in LA.
Welcome. This was our first home together, my first home ever. And right after we got married, we had been house hunting all throughout LA. And the second I walked into this house, what did I say? I was like, this is it. This is our home.
It's the first thing you said.
I was obsessed. It took like less than 5 minutes and I was like, this is our home.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we looked for like a good year and a half, and it was very challenging, the market when we were looking. So when we found places that we liked, it was pretty obvious. We wanted to make a good run at it. And this
then
one,
2 weeks after we got the house, I found out I was pregnant, so it was kind of perfect timing. The house had really good bones. The living room looked kind of similar, but completely different at the same time.
Yeah.
We took the house all the way down to the studs and did a full remodel, but kept most of the original footprint.
yeah, this is a 1957 mid-century, and it looked drastically different than this when we
It was a bit
first moved in.
Frankenstein, like hodgepodge together. It had been remodeled several times, but like the kitchen and the bathrooms were all original, but there were some weird architectural moments throughout the house that you could tell had been added on. So we started from scratch and kind of made everything throughout the house nice and consistent. I started off as a model and was kind of an early adopter into the social media space. And that was probably 2012, so like 12 years ago, aging myself. Matt started in finance.
Yeah, I worked in finance for like 8 years, and moved to LA, met this one, and she kind of kept me in LA, so I had to rethink what I was doing, and in the interim I opened up a restaurant.
And then I dragged him to come work with me.
And then most recently I've come on full-time with Rocky Barnes LLC, so it's been a lot of different things for me, but it's been a fun kind of...
He's kind of a renaissance man. He really does anything and everything he puts his mind to. He is an amazing photographer, manager, he kind of does it all. So we have a really special setup where we get to work together, travel together,
Parent together, live together, do a lot of things together.
Took a while to figure it out, but we made it work.
Yeah.
All right, here we are in the entryway of our house.
And my lovely wife greets you every time you come to our home.
Matt took this on one of our trips to
Mexico.
Yeah,
This was in Creyas.
Costa Creyas. Very nice. Oh, this is one of our favorite things though, that we never thought we'd love so much. This really cool
Coat rack.
coat rack from Salvatore.
Yes.
It's like the prettiest coat rack I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So.
This is actually probably the coolest bathroom in our house, and we really never get to use it because it's our powder room. But
You can take a peek.
yeah, you can take a peek or pee if you need to as well.
To make this space kind of special and unique, because it is so small, we did a really cool graded plaster texture on the walls.
Yeah, they actually used a pasta cutter on wet, like concrete and plaster to go up and down, and then to accent that more, we put uplighting in the floor of the bathroom to accent and show kind of the texture in the wall, which is super cool.
It's simple, but it's cool.
Yeah.
So all of the rugs in the house we sourced from ABC Carpet and Home. They have like the most amazing vintage rug selection. We went and handpicked them all. It took like a whole day to like go through stacks and stacks of rugs. But I'm really happy with how they all
If you haven't gone to ABC Carpet and Home, it was actually one of like our first dates in New York.
Yeah.
It's a place I took her to, and it's a really dope store. Their rug department is on like the 7th floor, and you can get lost up there. It's very, very cool.
So the one thing that we didn't really touch in the remodel was the exposed beams in the roof. This is kind of how it always was when we first came to see the house, and it was the one thing I didn't want to touch. Our interior designer wanted to clean it all up, but I really love the kind of imperfections of it. It adds character to the house. Another thing that we really loved about the house is the open floor plan. It's a really big space, but I think that we managed to make a lot of vignettes out of it to make it feel really cozy.
Yeah, and we actually closed off when we first moved into this house, this space right here, which you'll see, it was actually a built-in bar. And behind this built-in bar, this was actually all open. So we closed in part of the space to make a separate room.
Yeah, it was even more open, but we created a third room because I took the third bedroom to turn into my closet.
Yeah.
But I really love, like, one of our favorite things about the living room is our sofa from Saba Italia. And the double-sided sofa is one of my favorite things because it really creates this double seating area in the living room, which is so fun.
Yeah, we love to think this could be like our backgammon game area at some point. We don't have kids, but for now it's just
This is kind of like
overflow.
the appetizer, like the happy hour lounge spot, games, and then this is like the cozy TV area.
Yeah, and we just redid this to be even more of like a cozy area. This used to be extended longer, so we have more of like an L-shaped couch, and we kind of made it more of like a true daybed feel now.
And then when we first had the house, this pole was a giant, like, Greek column. It was literally this big around. It was massive.
And underneath it was just a couple 2x4s, which also was incredibly structurally not sound, so that was scary. When we took it apart, we realized what was holding up basically the main header of our roof line was just like a 2x4. So.
I don't know why they thought a giant Greek column was gonna look good, but it did not.
It didn't.
We have this really fun piece of art from Pangea. It's actually a flag. It's this really cool French brand. And I bought 3 of these for the boys' room. And Matt loved it so much, he demanded we put it in our living room. And I feel like the dance with chaos.
It says put your shoes on and dance with chaos, which just thought was a really cool concept for a living room and kind of like a guest entertaining space.
We like to entertain. We wanted to have a little bit of wild inspo in the living room. Another rug from ABC Home and Carpet.
This is probably our favorite rug in the house. This is from their Smoke collection.
It's not vintage, it's new, but it has a vintage feel to it.
Yeah. It just like worked so well with the tones in our house, and we also matched kind of the tones of the rug with these amazing coffee tables.
Yeah, these were custom made by LP Design.
Yep.
She had them custom made for the house, and I was freaked out when they showed up and they were pedestals because I was like, our boys are gonna tip them over, but they are so sturdy.
And heavy.
Our boys like run all over them.
They climb on them, they sit on them, and they're actually like indestructible. So when we moved in, this wall was actually all a giant built-in. It was all like custom millwork. We ended up moving this whole wall out a little bit to gain more space in our bedroom. So that's why we had to get rid of that, unfortunately. But we kind of tried to recreate that with these floating shelves and the low console unit. So.
And then my favorite pieces on the shelves are definitely our heads that we got in Sicily. We got these on our baby moon in Taormina.
Yeah, those as well as giant wooden mushrooms, which I had to carry through the streets of Sicily. Both of those, we'll show you those mushrooms soon, but Rachel's pregnant, so she obviously couldn't carry anything, so I had these giant heads as well as solid wooden mushrooms to carry home with us.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. These are actually also from ABC.
It looks like a rock.
Yeah.
It's like a giant poof.
These are also from ABC Carpet and Home, and we actually have a few more of them over there.
They're fun for the boys.
Yeah, they were just like a fun piece that we loved when we saw them.
Oh, this is Sarah Ellison. She's an Australian designer. We have a really cool console table from her and this chair, and it's just super cozy and comfy. I wanted a different texture in the living room. We have like a bousel, the marble. I wanted to bring in a different texture and kind of a pop of color. So this did the job.
Yeah.
Our couch is extremely kid-friendly.
Yeah.
We absolutely love our couch. It's Saba Italia, and we actually just rearranged it to make it more of like a giant day bed for the kids.
Yeah, it's modular, so there's like each piece is like you can connect in different ways. So it's really a fun couch because it can kind of grow with you and grow with your family.
We switched it around a bunch of times. I think throughout the design process, we've kind of learned what works and what doesn't for kids. Early on, we lost a couple tables to our toddler, Jones.
Like $3,000 tables,
just smashed on our concrete floors. But when we were getting new pieces for the house, we definitely kept our kids in mind, like tables that weren't gonna tip over, like rounded edges, stuff like that. But yeah, I think that I personally grew up in an antique house where like everything was kind of breakable, and I turned out okay and never really broke anything. I think when your kids are around your stuff, you kind of figure out what they're into and what they're not, and you just lift some of the nice stuff up on higher shelves until they get older. But
Or move it into the garage so that it's just inaccessible to the children.
I think we both refuse to have our house turn into a giant playroom, so it's a nice balance. We have our kids out and about.
Say we keep certain spaces like that we're comfortable having toys out in, and then in some spaces we just are off limits.
I think the biggest thing for us too is there used to be big terracotta tiles throughout the house, and we took all of those up and polished our foundation.
It's the original slab of the house, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so we have this kind of raw concrete floor, which is indestructible for 2 little boys, which is really nice. That's very kid-friendly.
All right, should we head into the dining room?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool.
This is a giant space, and I had my heart set on a round table, and finding a unique 72-inch round table is really hard. So we had this one custom made.
It's impossible, for the record.
No, it's not impossible, but none of the ones that we found were cool enough for us. But we had this made at Stonelands USA, and we went and handpicked the slab. And
This is called blue sky marble. I didn't know that was a thing, but it was the only like slab. They have very few like true one-piece slabs that are big enough to make this type of table. And of course, my wife found the one that was available to do it, and it was this material, which is apparently very rare. End up using the leftover pieces of the base to make like this like triangle.
all right, so all of our light fixtures in the house are
Allied Maker.
Maker.
Based out of Brooklyn.
This chandelier was custom made. I really, really wanted these alabaster pieces incorporated into the space, and she custom designed the chandelier specifically for the space, and I just love how it turned out.
Yeah.
We also have them mirrored on the entryway to the kitchen, which is really cool. They're really beautiful on their own, and then you don't even know they're lights, and then they turn on and they're even more special, so it's really cool.
Yeah, they have like this glow around them too, which is really cool.
All right, then all of our plants in the house are done by Plants and Spaces. She's based here in LA, and all of her stuff is really...
Yeah, she's literally has like, I would say, the most unique plants I've seen in houses, and she kind of has like, all of her plants almost have like a Dr. Seuss feel. They're quirky and they have interesting shapes, and I think her like best...
Example A.
Yeah, I mean, she literally picked this thing out of her warehouse, and like this would like mirror and go perfect in the space, and just the way I think it like captures the room, and it's really, really cool.
It's a big room, so it takes up a lot of space in the best way possible.
Yeah, and this...
She sources all of the vessels as well. This barnacle vase is massive.
Yeah, I carried that into the house with the mover, and
Almost broke your back.
I'm still recovering from that one.
All right, and then in this little space, this originally was a built-in bar, but it just was so massive and took up so much space, so we just did a little kind of makeshift bar here.
Yeah, I would say
Obviously with Casa del Sol tequila, our favorite. And I had this piece custom made from LNRC in Morocco. I wanted like a
really cool.
Matisse vibe from it, and I think it kind of worked perfect and brought in a little bit of the color elements, like the blues, the creams from our Wind and Sea surfboard. This is vintage from my mom. So a lot of collected pieces in this space. This is our little like vanity table. It's kind of like the first thing you see when you walk in. We always have fresh flowers on it. Our little olive atelier pieces. This is Sarah Ellison from Australia. I love the stripes and then the different legs. It just makes it really special.
And these are those solid wooden mushrooms I alluded to earlier that we brought back from Sicily.
These chairs I sourced on a vintage website from somewhere in Scandinavia. They're really cozy and comfy. And I just love the shape. I felt like the low profile matched the couch. They have like a mid-century vibe to them. And I was originally gonna do like a chartreuse, but when they showed up, I loved the
Original
dark green.
material.
We just ended up keeping it, so.
When we initially designed the house, our lives were very chaotic. We were traveling a lot. It was kind of, you know...
We were rarely home.
We were rarely home, but when we were home, we wanted to come back to a place that felt calm and kind of was a relaxing space that we could really enjoy and not feel overwhelmed in, because our lives do get overwhelming and crazy at times.
I think also we have nice stuff in our house, but everything's meant to be used and lived in. Like nothing's too perfect to sit in.
Yeah.
Nothing's
too perfect for our kids to play at or play on. Like our kids eat at this table with us too, and it's probably one of the more expensive things in our home. And I think we have nice things, but we want to enjoy them. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, things are meant to be used and lived in. There's no like untouchable room or untouchable furniture. You walk in, we want everyone to feel like they can just relax and enjoy themselves.
Should we make our way into the kitchen, my favorite room in the house?
This is Matt's room. After you.
My space. Our design styles are totally different.
Yeah. That was probably one of our biggest challenges. I'm a maximalist and Matt is
a minimalist.
An industrial minimalist.
Yeah.
He's constantly throwing my stuff away.
We're trying to.
We're trying to. We worked with a designer, Summer Jensen.
From Hawk & Co.
From Hawk & Co. And she did all of the interior architectural designs. And Matt and I kind of took the reins at an early stage and brought it to life. So I think when we were describing our design aesthetic, it was kind of like a mid-century Tulum vibe. I think you hate that term, but.
Yeah. All right, guys, welcome to the kitchen. This is one of the windows we were kind of alluding to before. We can kind of connect the outdoor space to the interior in almost every room that faces the backyard. When we have pool days or we're entertaining, this is always open. It's kind of where we lay out food. People can kind of come in and out. It's a really fun part of the kitchen.
This is definitely the heart of our home. I think we spend the most time here. Matt loves to cook, and we're always entertaining. So we wanted a kitchen where we could hang out with him, and he wouldn't be, alone in the kitchen. This is kind of a space where he can be cooking and also involved in entertaining.
The kids are posted up here. We have these little standing kind of hangout areas for the boys. Toddler towers, which they kind of hang out at. I'm cooking. Rachel's over there enjoying food or enjoying wine. And yeah, we love this room. And I spent a lot of time kind of picking the appliances in here. This is our appliance wall. So these are actually our fridge and freezer, which we have fully covered. So see, Thermador did this.
The parts of the kitchen that we were the most shocked, pleasantly surprised about were our countertops. We originally wanted to do concrete and it just wasn't really going to work out. So we found this countertop company. It's decked in and we weren't really sure how it was going to work because we hadn't seen it in real life, and it turned out to be one of my favorite elements in the kitchen. And it's literally indestructible, which is great.
It's composite. It's not a natural material, although it really emulates a natural stone. But you can cut on it. You can spill red wine on it. You can put hot surfaces on it, and
the kids have colored on it.
It is indestructible, and it's a great feature of the kitchen. We love our big island. I think we spend a lot of time using it. So
the countertops are one of my favorite parts of the kitchen. They look so great and blend in with the plaster. It was a really nice surprise.
All our appliances are Thermador. We were thoughtful in picking out kind of what we wanted to make sure I could get all the cooking I wanted to out of the space.
This is great for entertaining.
We have drink drawers, also great for kids.
Yeah.
They're just loaded at all times. Below is a freezer and ice drawer.
Great for parties.
Yeah, it's great for parties. Pool days, our specialty is homemade pizzas. We have a pizza oven out back. We do homemade dough in the morning with the boys, let it rest and sit before we're ready to kind of cook it. We make everything from scratch in this house. So yeah, pizza and pasta. I'm Italian, so that's usually where I like to live with my food and cuisine. So it's super fun.
You do really good breakfast sandwiches.
I'm good at breakfast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the stuff that's up on these shelves, we kind of our daily use. We have Rachel loves collecting pottery.
Yeah, all of our plates and stuff are collected as well. Like the ones next to Matt we got in Morocco.
Yeah.
The little bowls we got in Carmel from a wedding. The other ones are Matt Washington pottery, like a local potter. So we kind of love to collect and all the teapots from Marrakesh.
This teapot is from Marrakesh, from the
souks.
From the souks, I negotiated heavy. I had to bring out my New York skills to get that down from a reasonable price. All this stuff is stuff we've collected These are the boys' touch on the kitchen. I don't know when those astronauts got up there, but they seem to have never left.
Yeah. Everything's mixed and matched. We wanted everything to kind of work together, but not just be so perfect. We have a fun dishware collection and glassware.
Yeah, we don't have any like perfect sets.
We
Everything's
just got
kind
these
of a
really
mix.
cool glasses in Saint-Tropez. I'm obsessed with them. These little like face glasses. It's like our new water glasses.
Yeah,
These we
they're
picked
really,
up on
really
our
cool.
last trip to Saint-Tropez. This is our little Eco Birdie set. This is the little, we usually pull it out during mealtime, but it's made out of recycled water bottles and it's indestructible, but I think it's pretty chic for kids stuff.
Yeah, when the boys have a special occasion or they're well behaved, they get to take that out into the living room and watch TV while they eat, which is fun.
So we love this. We bring it outside when we have pizza parties. It's like the traveling kids table. All right, that's it for the inside. Let's check out the outside. One of my favorite parts of the house
Is this?
just our whole outdoor space. I think is really special. This is where the parties happen.
Yeah, and it's fun to be able to just flow from in to out like this. One of the biggest design moments I think we did when we were thinking about our house.
Is making it all indoor, outdoor.
Yeah.
But we love this space. The kids are jumping in the pool. We're serving drinks and food from the kitchen, and it kind of all
We have
accumulates
these
right
lovely
here.
butterflies that just kind of are summoned when we're shooting. This is definitely like the mecca of the house, and I think we're a corner lot, and our whole house is kind of like a V that's shaped to the outside backyard area. So
I feel like
kinda-
we call our house the Riyadh.
yeah,
It's like this magical oasis on the inside of the house.
yeah,
really fun.
It's surrounded by the house, and then we also luckily have all these giant property line walls that our neighbors and us agreed to put in. So it feels very private back here, and it does feel like a little oasis. You kind of don't even know about until you come in.
So we put in this really fun day bed. This used to be a giant group of palm trees, but it really cut the line of sight for the backyard. So it turned into a giant day bed, and everyone just loves hanging out here. And when we redid the backyard, we added in this kind of cantilever sofa, which I have to say is the best view in the backyard. It's so pretty over there.
Definitely the best seat. Yeah, so our pool was actually like 15 feet longer than this before we renovated the backyard. It also had like a 10-foot deep end, so felt like it was a little dated, as well as like a rock diving board. So we cut the deep end off of the pool and then just kept the original shape because we love the lagoon style shape. But that was kind of like a good design element for us because we got to regain all this space in the back, which became our dining area. We just finalized a partnership with CB2. It was really fun to work with them. They really, kind of helped us accent our space and pick the right pieces. So we could create these little moments, which we feel really good about the final product. I think it looks great.
Yeah. All right, come over here.
Yeah,
This
careful.
is where our dinner parties happen.
These are our new comfy loungers. Dining table, I would say this is really where the magic happens from the outdoor cooking.
Matt's pizza oven station.
I spend most of my time back here on pool days. This is our pizza oven. It's a Gosney. It's really great for what we do. I have a lot of fresh herbs back here, so I can kind of pick my herbs, make my pizzas. I think this is the best view of the house, especially for me when I'm hanging out here cooking. It's fun to kind of look at everyone enjoying the backyard, and being able to see the house from here is really cool.
I just love that you can see all the palm trees. It gives it really like that California iconic feel. Like the rest of our house, we wanted it to be really easy to entertain back here. So if Matt's cooking, we go straight into the dining area. You can lounge and talk to people while they're in the pool. One of the things when we shortened the pool is we added a bench on the deep end. So while people were laying out here, people could come and sit and chit chat while they're in the pool. So we really thought about those details in order to make it flow and really be something that people can hang out together and there weren't any sort of isolated spaces.
We had to actually make the coping extra wide and actually elevate it in certain areas based on how the drainage worked in our backyard. So it almost became this like bench in certain areas, and we kind of love that, and it's pretty unique. So it was a fun design element that kind of came out of just function for the backyard. And everywhere we did this washed concrete, acid wash, which we chose so things weren't slippery out here, and it kind of ended up being a great design element as well. I think it added a lot of texture and safety for running kids in the backyard.
We love our pool. We get a lot of use out of it.
Love our pool. We love our outdoor space. We spend a lot of time out here in the summers and even in the winters.
He cold plunges in the winter.
Yeah.
I do not. What makes a house a home? I think the people in it. It's
Yeah.
always, I think our kids really add a lot of life to it.
Yeah, like if we go on a trip, just the two of us, and we come home, I mean, the second you open the door and the kids are kind of there, kind of brings it home for us.
Yeah, I think, and also all the personal touches. I think a lot of houses these days like to feel so perfect. And ours, I think, is lived in and unique and shows our personality, which I think really makes it a home.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.